have to record on this thing. It's like, okay.
Okay.
YouTube. Hey guys, welcome back. I need to get like like one of those like catchphrases when people come in and be like, "Hey
Intro.
girlies," or something.
Yeah. I
I feel
just
like I
say,
should do
hey
it.
y'all, welcome back to my channel.
Literally, I'm just like, "What's up?"
Yeah.
Anyways, let's get into it. But yeah, as y'all can see, y'all, we are here with episode 3 of my podcast. Yay! I would clap for y'all, but my hand is occupied. Thank you. Thank you. So we have today with us cover girl Lauren. You want to
Woo.
introduce yourself? Shout yourself out.
Yeah, I'm Lauren. Let me see. Okay, background. I am a mother. I am a wife. Uh, have been a divorcee before, so on our topic matter, that'll be important. As far as like personal stuff, I have a YouTube channel as well. Check me out, Cover Girl Lauren, and there we just do travel vlogs, regular vlogs, product reviews, that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm excited to be on the show today. So thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming through. I'm super excited to have you. We always have great conversations.
Yes.
And I feel like we kind of touched on something like this before on that other platform.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like this would be super interesting. If y'all see the title, right, we are getting into is cheating
Mm.
a deal breaker? Deal breaker.
Yeah, that's a
Is it?
good topic. That's a good
Is
topic.
it? It is a really good topic. It really is.
Because I got some things to say. So,
So without further ado, let's just get straight to it, right? Is cheating a deal breaker for you?
okay, so that is a closed in question. That's a yes or no question. So, to answer it, yes, it is a
Mm-hmm.
deal breaker. In short,
Mm-hmm.
um, but the thing that I will say is, even if someone chooses to stay in a relationship after someone has cheated, I'm not faulting that person for that. And I've definitely done that myself. But, well, in the past, but I will say you'll never have the same relationship. So it's
Mm-hmm.
a deal breaker to the current relationship you have. I think everybody can say that it is, even if you continue to be in that relationship.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I definitely agree that cheating is one of those things that, like you said, even if you do choose to stay with that person, it completely alters the way that you look at them, the way
Hmm.
that you feel and think. And it could even change the entire dynamic of how you go about interacting in that relationship.
For sure.
Um, yeah. So, for me, I would definitely say I'm gonna say cheating itself is not a deal breaker
Hmm.
because I've been cheated on twice
Mm.
and I stayed both times.
Mm.
So I can't. In two separate relationships, I'm saying. So in
Yeah.
both relationships, I stayed. So obviously, it's not a deal breaker for me.
Yeah.
Um, and I'll get into why a little bit later. But I think that with that being said, it can become a deal breaker, right?
A habitual
Depending,
cheater.
yeah,
Yeah.
depending on how it's executed, depending on how it plays out in your relationship, I definitely think it's something that can become a deal breaker. So,
Mm.
so you've experienced being cheated on,
I have. Yeah.
and in those situations, was it an instant deal breaker? Did you cut it off?
No, I can easily say I did not cut it off in that moment. It was more of the way I found out, kind of a go through the phone type of situation where it's like
Oh Lord.
you're in instant shock of, because I didn't see it coming, like I thought everything was good. I thought,
Hmm.
okay, this is great. And, I didn't necessarily go looking for some. I did actually. I did go looking for something because their behavior changed towards me.
Hmm.
Now it's my phone has a password. Now it's, oh, getting frantic when I kind of look at your phone. Whereas
Hmm.
just a couple days ago, we were watching, videos on your phone. So now I can't even know the password. That's weird. So
Very
that's when
weird.
I knew I had to, but I found what I was looking for.
Mhm.
And I think it sent me in what is she doing that I'm not? Because I just thought our relationship was perfect. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that came from a place of not feeling like I was good enough in the relationship,
Mm-hmm.
which also could have been something that he kind of intuned into me that I, I should be grateful to be with him, you
Mm-hmm.
know? So, yeah, I think I did not leave instantly. But I do say that in that same relationship, when I did end up leaving, cheating was maybe a third of the reason why I left.
Okay.
The other third may have came from, instability of that person, and then also lying, which lying is cheating, but lying about a lot of other things. So,
Right. Okay. Okay. And so when you did actually decide to end the relationship, it was not solely because of cheating, it was those other aspects. And
yeah.
so that kind of brings me to my next question of do you think that cheating is more of a hair, like, how do I put this? Do you think that cheating is
Hmm.
more so a segue into a relationship that's already ending, right? Um so it's not so much the concept of your partner having sex with another person that ends the relationship. It's what the cheating means
Mm.
in the state of the relationship. Do you,
Yeah, I think it is segue into the end, depending on, or at least unhappy
mm-hmm,
relationship, a relationship that's always on guard, always, let's just use the word toxic. I know people throw that around, but a toxic relationship, because like we were saying kind of in the beginning, it's a definitely an end to the relationship you had, regardless of if you choose to stay or not.
mm-hmm,
So, you know, you're never gonna look at that person the same. And that not unconditional. What is that word when it's like you blindly trust someone?
yeah,
That usually leaves the first time someone cheats. Now you're always
yeah,
looking over your shoulder.
mm-hmm,
Whereas, before you found out anything, he could say, "Oh, I'm taking this girl to the I don't know, her tire was flat," and you wouldn't even blink twice because it was like, "Oh, look at my man being a good Samaritan." But
yeah,
now it's like, "Oh, who's the girl? How do you know
mm-hmm,
her? Why did you stop for her instead of, oh, that's the right thing to do?" Like, so
right.
that's the odd situation, but it's never going to be the same level of calmness when your person is around the opposite sex, I believe.
Yeah, because even at this point, that's the thing is, people think that cheating is always this grand affair where, the guy or the girl goes out and buys a hotel room
Yeah.
and they just at it for days. No, like,
Yeah.
niggas will be like, oh yeah, I'm finna go get a haircut.
Yeah.
I'm finna go, I gotta go get an oil change.
And dropping his girl off some food.
Yeah, and just that quick. That little 30 minutes to an hour, that's enough time to do whatever the fuck it is that you want to do. And so
Yeah.
I think that's kind of leading me back to what you were saying earlier about how you thought the relationship was perfect.
Hmm.
Because I can say one of the two times I experienced, I was in that position of where I had no fucking clue, no idea. There
Mm.
was no indications. There was no staying out all night. There was nothing
Yeah.
weird or suspicious. And I think that is what made me 10 times more paranoid, is knowing, like, okay, I always thought that if cheating was taking place, it would be obvious. I
Yeah.
never thought that, like I said, somebody could just slip off super
Yeah.
quick and boom, 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 and you would have no idea. So now, even though I forgive you, nigga, I don't trust you for shit. Like,
Not,
you
I,
can say
I
I'm
can't
taking
trust you as far as I can see you, or throw you, or whatever
exactly,
the expression is. I can't.
exactly. Like, I don't give a fuck if you trying to walk the dog. The dog can walk itself in the backyard.
Okay.
Like, because I don't believe you. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. And I
So.
think it's crazy because, like, I feel like women, we kind of get that rap. Like, you see us kind of portrayed as like, who is that bitch? No, you trying to, like, and that's why though. I think that's
Mhm.
why.
Yeah.
Um, so as far as staying, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
What to
I'll say.
you? can be what made you say, you know what, I'd rather keep this relationship as opposed to let it go despite of this.
I mean, I don't think I was even pregnant yet. So,
Mm,
um, I think I was like, I think, okay, I think a lot of factors, but one of the things was, when this person was introduced to my life, a lot of people opposed it. A lot of
mhm,
people were like, who is he? What's his background? What is he? So there was a lot of opposition. And I have finally got to a point where I was like, A, I don't care what you think about him because that's my man. I'm going to stand by him.
mhm.
And two, you know, I had kind of shunned people away because you're not going to talk about him like that. You're not going to talk about
Right.
me like that. So to have this person that I just vouched for and pushed people away for cheat on me, I'm like, oh shit. I just
Yeah.
embarrassed myself
I feel
because if I
dumb.
come
Yeah.
back and say, hey, y'all were right, he wasn't good, like my ego is kind of like, now I'm
Mm,
forever that dumbass bitch who didn't listen to nobody. And they told me so. They told me so,
yeah.
right?
Mhm.
I was like, nah. And then a part of me is like, what does this girl have that I don't have? Is she cooking for you? Like, I don't know. So it's kind of, and I was younger. So it's
Mhm.
like, I see this guy as somebody who we're going to make it together.
Mhm.
He's going to take me to that next level. So I think being embarrassed, being young and naive, you know, and thinking, well, if he wants me to be like this, then I can do that. That's easy. Not
Yeah.
thinking that I'm changing myself. And no one can make someone cheat. You don't make someone accidentally fall into pussy. Like or text someone on the side. Like that's them not looking out for you.
Mhm.
So I think I stayed because I was like, let me see if I can change this part of myself and he'll stay.
Yeah. Okay.
Already, so I think it was more so that.
Yeah. I definitely get that aspect because I've been there too. Of like, okay, what? Maybe I can still salvage this. Maybe
Mhm.
there's something I can do to hold this together or prevent this from happening again.
Yeah.
Um, and I think to me, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think my decision to stay, especially the second time I experienced cheating, and now that I think about it, it being the second time makes sense. My mentality was like, okay, let's look at the statistics, right?
Mhm.
Over 50% of marriages end in divorce, right?
Mhm.
And one of the biggest catalysts for those divorces is infidelity, right?
Mhm.
I don't know if it's the biggest reason, but it's definitely up there of one of the main reason people separate
Yeah.
is infidelity. And that's marriage. I don't even want to know what it looks like for situationships and
Yeah.
living in relationships, right?
Yeah.
Um, so I just kind of had a conversation with myself of like, okay, do you really want to dismantle everything that you've built with this person and start from square one just for
Mhm.
there to be a 50-50 chance that the next person is going to do the same exact shit?
Mm.
That's
Not
that
wanting to
was me.
start over.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Especially with the potentiality of like it could very well happen again.
Yeah.
Cheating isn't like a rare occurrence in
Yeah.
this society. And so that to me was like it was like a okay, I'm not about to keep going through this. Like I'm
Yeah.
not. And I think especially like I said, it being the second time that I went through it myself, it was like, okay, this is happening again. There's
Mhm.
probably I feel like if I walk away from this situation now, it's just gonna happen again.
Mhm.
Um and so that kind of brings me to my next question of do you think that okay, so we've all seen, I'm sure, the conversation about how like cheating is in a man's nature or
Oh man,
polygamy is in
that's
a
so
man's
bullshit.
nature. Okay, so that I kind of got my answer right there.
That's so
Like,
bullshit.
do you think there's any truth to the concept that men are more inclined to it's their nature in a sense to cheat?
Okay. So I don't even know which direction to take first. I guess I'll start at the top, which be religiously.
Mhm.
Religiously, that is not like correct, you know.
Mhm.
So they, I know in the Quran people want to argue all day. They say it's four, but it really does say if you can only handle one, take one.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
that is like first and foremost. Okay, you don't believe in that. You want to do religious. Okay, let's go logically. Logically, do we really want to deal with multiple people on an everyday basis, or do we want one person who knows everything, knows how you like it? You don't have to over explain yourself. Like, and I don't know if that's how men think, but I would say as a woman, we don't want to have to tell you the same thing all the time. Just
Right.
get it and know it. And I would assume men may be like that too. I don't know. And
Mhm.
then on a third level of who's even saying that? Is it people who want to be in that type of relationship saying that? Because I don't hear single men saying, no, I need multiple women. Like it
Right.
seems like the people who are saying that are people who are in that
Who are
life,
pro polygamous to
who
begin with.
pro
Exactly.
polygamous or, want to have multiple partners.
Mhm.
Like you don't see a lot of when I say single, I meant married, like monogamous men saying, yeah, men are polygamous.
Mhm.
No, it's only coming from people who want to be that way.
Exactly.
And whatever childhood trauma issues that you've had to want to be that way, whether you want to address them or not, I don't think that's just in their nature. It may just be
Mhm.
something you want to do, but
Exactly.
it's not in your nature to be that way. It's in your nature, I believe, to be a provider, a
Mhm.
protector, a woman to be nurturing, a woman to be loving,
Mhm.
kind, gentle. Maybe not, and every woman has their different ways, but I
Mhm.
think that's nature. Being polygamous is not nature. That's just how you want to be.
Exactly. Exactly. And I like the fact that you brought up the Quran because that is one of the biggest arguments
Yeah.
that people try to use in Islam is like, oh, well, why would Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it lawful for a man to have multiple wives? Because it's in his nature to be. First of all, that has
Okay.
nothing to do with cheating, right? And one of the
Yeah.
biggest arguments
Right.
that I've seen is like, oh, well, it's better that a man take multiple wives than him cheat on his wife,
Yeah.
as if polygamy is like a band-aid
For
for
cheating.
infidelity and having a lack of sexual discipline. And
Hmm.
it's like if we want to look at it like that, it's like, to me, I like to go all the way back to the basics, right? If we're going to discuss human nature, right? Why is it that one man was created and then one woman was created for that man?
Mm.
If our nature, if our very DNA
Mm.
screams for a man to have multiple women, then why at our core and at the beginning of our creation was there one man for one woman? Why was that?
Mm.
And to
Mm.
me, that is the biggest indicator that that was never the intention
Yeah.
in the nature in which we were designed. Like you said, I think that we are curious, right?
Mm.
Creatures. We have the tendency to stray
Yeah.
into things that are different from our core nature.
Mm.
And that's honestly what I think it is. I think it's just the temptation. It's all the
Mm.
different options. It's the lust and one giving into it. But
Yeah.
I think that when ego comes into play, a person doesn't want to admit, "Hey, I was tempted. I gave in to my lust." It's
Yeah.
like I want to kind of justify it. I want to come up with a doctrine.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
that it's not a me thing, it's a man thing.
yeah. All
Yeah.
men are like this.
Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. Um, and so that's why I think that conversation of cheating being a deal breaker is very important because to me it kind of shows more about, it's again, it's not the fact that your penis was in another vagina or vice
Mhm.
versa, right? It's the mentality. It's
Yeah.
the way that you think.
And I think that before it even gets to that, there was a
Mhm.
problem.
Mhm.
Like before it even gets to you physically laying down with another woman on me, you had a problem with me, whether it was before me or
Mhm.
after me. You saw something and like what, you got comfortable in the relationship, you thought I wasn't satisfying you in some way, whether it be physical or whatever. But you don't just wake up one day and say, I'm going to cheat.
Right. Exactly. Where
Like
did this come from?
that, where did this come from?
Mhm.
So like I really do believe it was either something you never fixed before you met me, or you got too comfortable with the relationship and you thought, you must have thought that I would have been okay with it,
Mhm.
because if you didn't, you wouldn't risk losing me.
Exactly. Or you didn't give a fuck about me. That's
Yeah,
that's the
or
only
you
thing
didn't
I
go
can
about
think
it.
is
Yeah.
either you didn't give a shit about losing me,
Hmm.
or you saw something in me that made you think I can get over. I can
And,
pull this on her.
and you know what's funny though? When I
Mhm.
was in that relationship and I found that he was cheating, before, like I said, I had no idea he was cheating. So it was really like a whoa, where the hell did this come from? I thought we were good.
Mhm.
After I found out he was cheating and I stayed, oh, he got disrespectful
Oh
cheating.
yeah. Oh yeah.
It was like, you say, oh, there was no coming home late, there was no this, there was no that. He was doing all that.
Mhm.
Once I knew and I didn't leave, oh bitch, it's fair game. Because now I'm gonna do what I want to do. And you gonna stay? Cool.
Mhm.
And I don't know if you've ever seen, there's a Medea play clip somewhere that was like, let that man cheat in peace.
Yeah.
If you ain't gonna do nothing about it, why you bugging him about it? You know what he doing. You
Yeah.
didn't seen it. You saw it. What else do you need to know that? So if you gonna just let him cheat in peace, if you ain't gonna leave, because he gonna keep doing it.
So you're an advocate for that? That show?
Advocate for let him cheat in peace.
Yeah.
If you gonna stay, I mean,
Yeah.
or if you're not actively taking steps to go to therapy or
Mhm.
really work on the relationship, like, but what's the point of like checking his phone all the time when you gonna find something, wondering where he
Right.
at? You know where he at. Either be okay with it or leave.
And so what do you think makes a distinguishment between or distinguishes between like, okay, I caught him cheating, but I'm willing to forgive him and work through this,
Hmm.
and I caught him cheating and I might as well just let him cheat in peace. Like what makes that difference to you?
Bring If you decide to bring it to his attention in a way of, but I don't really believe in ultimatums, but I think that would be a time to bring one in. Like,
Mhm.
hey, I've seen this from you. Do you respect me enough to work on this relationship and you fell into some temptation? Or
Mhm.
is this like side relationship worth it to you? I guess this would be a question you ask if you're not married, because if you're married, you really got to take route A of we finna work through this at least the first time.
Mhm.
But in a relationship, like a girlfriend boyfriend type of thing, I would assume like you just have to be like, you can try to be as straight with them as possible, as hey, if this happens again, I'm leaving
I'm
or we're
cool.
done.
Mhm.
Or two, what are you going to do to fix this? And talking to the person who's cheating, because I need a plan of action. Is this the only girl? And then that's a whole, I hope opens a whole can of worms.
Yeah, that's a whole other can of worms for sure. For sure,
Are
for sure.
Is this the only one?
I'm not sure what would scare me more is if it's the only one
Girl,
or if it's multiple, because it's different negatives with both sides of that, because I feel like if
both are
it's
terrible.
multiple, that's dirty. I can be
Yeah.
exposed to a lot. It's a lot of drama, a lot of sloppiness. Are you being
And
careful?
you don't care either. You just pick enough
Yeah,
to pick up. It's
exactly.
nothing. Yeah.
But if it's one, I'm like,
Go
you
be with
care.
her.
Like, are you in
Yeah.
love with that bitch?
Yeah.
Like, cause why?
Ooh.
Especially because I kind of one of the times that I got cheated on, it was with someone that the guy was with before me.
Ooh.
Like
So
they,
they had something and they
yeah.
never finished that,
And
I
so
guess.
it's like and I think that's kind of where I was gonna say when you were talking about the ultimatum thing. I think at one point I was scared to like put my foot down and be on some like, look, either you cut this shit off or I'm gone, because I was so insecure in myself that I'm like,
Mhm.
he's gonna be like, okay, and say fuck me. Like that's kind of how
Yeah.
I felt. Like I didn't feel like I had enough value and pull to be able to make an ultimatum. And that's a shitty feeling. I'm
And I
not gonna lie
think
to you.
it really does suck too when you're domestic partners, like when you live together.
Hmm.
That takes it to a whole other level. There's no just, walk away.
Yeah, it's
You
not
know,
just like,
like
"Oh, bye."
we're on the same lease.
Mhm.
So yeah, not having the power to kind of feeling like you know, you want to put your foot down, and that goes to like, where do you stand in the relationship? Are we equals where
Mhm.
like we're both happy to be with each other, or do you feel like you're a little bit better than me? I'm giving
Right.
you a little bit of grace to be with me because
Yeah.
like, and that's why I can say now, like in my current, like, well, not current, my relationship, because forever, inshallah, in my relationship, I feel like we're equally yoked. I don't feel
Mhm.
like, oh, I'm I'm
I'm
I'm
blessed to
better
be
than
with you.
him. I'm blessed.
Like,
Yeah, like
yeah.
we match, but I
Mhm.
think, and that's not saying one person is less than the other, but that could be an ego thing. Someone can be the worst thing ever, but they believe, oh, anybody's lucky to be with me, and then just
Yeah.
be every
And a
relationship
lot of
like
times
that.
that's what it is when it comes to like a habitual cheater, a person who has that mentality.
Yeah.
It's like they think they're a lot better than what they are.
Mhm.
And that can be an issue. Um so with that being said, right?
Mhm.
Do you think there's ever a situation that justifies cheating or makes it kind of like, it may not be right, but I could see why you went the route of cheating.
Okay, when we say cheating, let's
Mhm.
define this though, because is cheating just laying down and having sex, or is cheating anything you wouldn't do in front of your partner?
I say anything you wouldn't do in front of your partner.
I'll use that definition as well.
Mhm.
So okay, I don't. Can you give me an example of something? Well, I don't. I didn't ask you if you agree with it, but I don't think there is a justification for it. Like,
Mhm.
I think people do fall in temptation in more favorable circumstances. For example, if I don't know, someone's on a business trip for 3 months and they just, oh, I felt so lonely, and this
Yeah.
person just happened to be nice to me, and I mean, like, it's still bad. Like, no, you should be
Mhm.
able to control yourself. But I really can't think of any situation that would justify cheating.
Okay. I feel it. I
Like,
feel it. And
I
and in
can't think.
general, I certainly agree with you. Like overall, I would say there's really no excuse for cheating.
Yeah.
However, and I don't even know if this was fully be cheating. So the other day, right, I saw this
Mhm.
video where, and you might have seen it because it kind of went viral, but it was this girl who she's married and her husband had got caught cheating a few times in the past. And so she caught him again. And so there's a video in which it's like kind of her like just ranting and like explaining to him, like, look, you didn't got caught again.
Mhm.
And here's the deal. We're married, we got kids together. Like, there's no point in getting divorced. We can stay together.
Mhm.
You gonna do you. I'm gonna do me. We don't bring nothing home. We don't
Wow.
and we just that's what it is.
So
And
you're
so
okay.
at first, when I first heard it, I was like, girl, you crazy as hell. But I kind of thought about it and I'm like, you know what? I think she basically the same mentality I had earlier of
Mhm.
like, look, we got a house together. We like 4 kids in deep. We might have joint bank accounts, all kinds of shit. And it's like, do you really want to dismantle all of that and start over from square one with someone who might do the same exact shit? Like,
I
and
guess my,
so I seen that. I felt the
but that
vibes.
doesn't justify cheating though.
Yeah, and I feel like in that situation at that point, it wouldn't even be cheating anymore. Like if y'all came to the agreement of like you gonna do you and I'm gonna do me, but we gonna stay together. At that point, that's polygamy or polyamory or some type of open relationship. At that
It's an
point,
open relationship for
yeah.
sure.
Um, but so here's the thing, right?
Mhm.
Have you ever cheated?
I've never cheated.
You've never cheated?
I would say this. I'll say this.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't call it cheating, but I guess if we're using the textbook definition of you wouldn't do it in front of your spouse, I will say there was this one guy I dated, and I knew our relationship was coming to an end. Like, it was just a matter of time that I needed to break up with him. And I'm not gonna like put it out there that he was a bad person, but he actually was.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like in the point where if I break up with him, it would be a scene, and he just, okay, I'll do whatever to get you back, and it's just like, oh, okay, like, okay, we
Mhm.
can be together. I didn't want to have
Yeah.
to deal with that, so I was like, okay, let's just stay together. But I
Mhm.
had to muster up the strength to like actually break it up. But before I did that, I would say maybe in the last month or so, I was kind of talking to someone else. Didn't end up turning into a relationship, but technically, if we're using the definition, and I want to be honest, I was cheating. I never
Mhm.
physically met up with that person out of respect for my relationship, but I was talking to someone else. But the reason I keep putting butts in there is because I knew in my head we were honestly already broken up. I just had to
Yeah.
actually do it.
Yeah.
So I can say I've never led someone on to believe that, oh, it's all good and rainbows, and on the side I'm doing this.
Okay. So I feel like
Yeah.
we've been in a similar position
Hmm.
because I technically cheated too.
Hmm.
I technically cheated too, but it was a very similar position of I don't know, like, have you ever broken up with somebody but they won't break up with you? Like
Yeah, that
you
was
try
the
to cut
guy.
somebody off,
He
but they
wouldn't break
won't.
up. They
Yes.
wouldn't. He never thought the relationship was done, and I was like,
Yeah.
it is. Yeah.
Exactly. And so I feel like that's kind of the position I was in, but okay. So I told the dude, right? Like I'm not happy. Like a few
Yeah.
months before this took place, I straight told him like, look, something has to give. Like I love you. I feel like we have a connection, this, that, and the third, but like you're not treating me right. I'm not
Yeah.
getting what I deserve. I'm not happy. And if you don't get your shit together, I'm gonna start fucking with other people, right?
Hmm.
But this is where I meant I was wrong.
Yeah.
I was I was really in love with this person.
Hmm.
So even though I wanted to break up, I had a hard time like sticking to my guns on it.
Yeah.
And he had this thing where like, I'll be ready to dip out. And
Yeah.
he'll pop up, you know,
Yeah.
you know, you
Yeah.
know, do that thing that I like, right?
Oh,
And
got it, got it,
and
got it.
shit would be like peaches and creams again. And I'm like,
Hmm.
damn, that nigga got me again. So it was like one of those type situations of like, I'm done, I'm cool on you, but then we would make up. And
Yeah.
he got to a point where he just didn't take me seriously when I said
Mm.
like I'm done.
Yeah,
And
he would think,
so
oh yeah, if I just come over and do that, then we good then.
yeah, exactly. So I told him like like I'm going to start fucking with other people, and I don't think he believed me. And I think it was still considered cheating because I kind of like let him not believe me, if that makes sense. Like I
You
kind of
didn't
just
make
like,
it like, no, we're done. I'm actually like moving on, and you didn't
yeah,
press the issue.
it was like, okay, I told you. And if you think I'm playing with you, then that's on you. Like whatever.
Yeah.
And then I admit that I did get to the point where I stopped trying to respond to him. But he
Hmm.
was the type that, like I said, you try to break up with him, but he's not trying to break with you. He's
Yeah.
girl, poof balls
Yeah.
and headphones do not go together. But he's popping up unannounced.
Yeah.
He's like making new numbers. He's like, you
Oh
feel me? Like, so it
gosh,
was like a cling
girl.
on type of
Yes.
situation. But I was
Why have we
still
all
letting him
dealt
because
with
I kept
the clinger?
it was my fault too though, because like I kind of was like, how do I explain it? Like I'd be like, no, I'm cool, but then he'd call my phone 1,000 times, pop up. At one point, this nigga tried to climb through my window, like,
Oh my god.
and I'd be like, fuck it, and I just let the nigga in the house, like, oh my gosh, you're doing too much. And so, anyways,
That's a conversation actually for another
hmm
day. The When you're dealing with someone who is so persistent, and it's not in a
hmm
good way, it's in a very like, you just give in for the lack of, I'm tired. Okay,
yeah, like,
fine,
and like at the
fine.
time, I'm staying at my grandmother's house, and
Hmm.
it's like you're trying to climb through her windows, you're banging on her door, like, you're doing. I don't want to call the cops on you, but if
Yeah,
I don't, she's going to. So it's like, okay, fuck it, like I just let you in because you're doing
yeah.
too fucking much at my grandma's house.
That's like
So
definitely borderline. It's
yeah,
abusive, but it's a lot of other words too. Like, yeah.
yeah, but I'm young and dumb, so I think that shit is cute. Like, oh, look at him. Anyways, point is, that was the time that I had started like messing with other people,
Mhm.
and he was not cool with it. So that would be a situation where I'm like, okay, that's technically cheating,
Yeah.
but I think it was kind of justified because I tried to end the relationship with you, but you did not want to end the relationship. And I told
Yeah.
you I was going to fuck with other people, and you still did not want to end the relationship. So,
I don't think that was cheating then. Like I feel like cheating in my case, I guess I would say that I cheated because I never told him about to mess with other people. I was just unhappy and I was like, why are we dragging this out? But
mhm,
in your case, it's kind of like I told you, you just don't want to accept it.
you
I
don't want to accept
think,
it. Exactly.
you know, when you ask me is cheating justified in any situation, I'm thinking, oh, your partner is away for a while. Oh, you're both busy and you have a work wife or work husband. Have you ever heard
Mhm.
those terms? Like I'm thinking like that. Like that stuff, no, is never like justified. But I feel like when the relationship is ending, no, it's
Yeah.
good. Like it's not like you're convincing that person you're still happy, we're still good.
Mhm.
Like you that person knows there's issues, they just don't want to accept it. So
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, and like I've directly told you this is what it is, but you're just
right.
like, nah, I'm not gonna accept that. And so that has to be a thing too. Is like, sometimes that's why cheating should be a deal breaker. I'm not gonna lie to you
Hmm.
because I think sometimes we can, on the flip side of that, um, you can be the one who there's clear signs that the relationship is over. The person has made it clear that they're kind of checking out, but you kind of don't want to let go.
Yeah.
Or it may not even be that they've made it clear. Say that person does go ahead and cheat. At what point do we say to ourselves like, okay, this relationship shouldn't continue? Should this be a deal breaker? Even if I don't feel strongly enough about the cheating occurring to cut the relationship off, does this say enough about the state of the relationship to where I
Mm.
should be mature enough
See
to
where
like, okay,
it's going.
yeah, like, and be like, look,
Yeah.
even though I don't necessarily his penis being another vagina doesn't hurt me that bad, the bigger picture and the shit that's behind that
Yeah. I'm no
shows me that
longer
it's time to, yeah.
your go-to or your best friend. And for whatever reason you felt like you
Mhm.
needed to go and be with someone else. And I feel like in the type of relationship that I would want to have with my spouse, I should be your go-to for everything. There's
Mhm.
no one else should be able to make you feel comforted or with whatever, loved and whatever the way I can.
Mhm.
So the fact that you needed to outsource that says to me there was a problem in our relationship that we need to either address or it's gonna go left.
Thank you. And that's how I feel. That's why I don't fuck with polygamy. I'm sorry. And I know that I know that that is like a
Mhm.
taboo thing to say as a Muslim,
No, it's
but
not.
I personally I don't fuck with it because I feel like there's nothing that requires you to need another partner unless there's
Yeah.
something you're not getting in your first relationship. I don't care.
Yeah.
If you're, and this is why, maybe I'm wrong. I'm not trying to speak for the prophet, but from my
Yeah.
observation, his first wife, he didn't marry anyone until she passed away. But
Literally.
he took
And
multiple other wives after that. Why?
they weren't his first. They weren't
Exactly.
that person had already been in his life and left.
Mhm.
So everybody else is and that's going back. There was one point you were saying, oh, we said the nature. What's in a man's nature is to protect and provide, right? That's
Mhm.
nature, in my opinion. Only time polygamy is like in a man's nature when in the time of the prophet, peace be upon him, it was a lot of widows, a lot of women who's divorced. They're looked down upon society. No one's taking care of them. No one have no family to help them.
And they
Okay,
can't
as a
care
man,
for themselves the
they
same
can't
way
care
that
for
we
themselves.
can. Yeah.
Today, yeah, today a
Mhm.
woman can be a single mom all day long. She gonna get, government, family, whatever. Back then, it wasn't like that.
Mhm.
So yeah, back then, as a
There
man,
was
if
no
I'm
food
doing
stamps.
well, yeah, there was no food stamps.
Yeah.
Okay, there was no Medicaid, Medicare,
Mhm.
whatever. Um, they didn't have that. So I can see how back then maybe you see a woman, she's maybe even, middle aged, husband died, they got two kids.
Mhm.
As a man in the community, because the community was a lot tighter back then as well, I need to protect that woman. She's a
Yeah.
good woman. I know she is. Maybe I don't know, how sensual that relationship may have been, but
Mhm.
she needs a protector. She needs a provider. And I think that is where back then those came from. But nowadays, men ain't out here saying, oh, she's a single mom, she got kids, or oh, her husband died, or oh, she's divorced, she needs a guardian. They
In
just
fact, they
want to
don't
collect.
want single
Yeah,
mothers
they,
nowadays.
oh
Like,
yeah. Oh
yeah,
yeah,
like, oh, a
definitely.
woman having kids taints her or lowers her value, and no man wants a
Hmm.
ready-made family. So it's
Yeah,
like you're still practicing polygamy. And
not
it's
even the
sadly you
right
even see
way.
this in Islam, where it's like you're still practicing polygamy and you're using the Quran to justify it, but you're skipping over the part where you're supposed to be helping the orphans. You're supposed to
Hmm.
be. This is supposed to be
Helping the
you.
divorced
Yeah,
woman.
exactly, exactly. It's like, oh no, I don't want a woman that's already been. Then why are you taking four wives?
Yeah.
For what? Your
Yeah,
own
that's
selfish
their
needs.
own doctrine, and
Exactly.
and then it's so funny when they use the logic of building an empire.
Hmm.
Oh, if she got her business, if she got her, that's actually not at all how that is supposed to go.
Especially not in
You
Islam.
you are supposed to be able to provide for different households.
Exactly. That's your job.
You are supposed to be able
Exactly.
to provide and split up your time 4 different ways
Exactly.
and evenly,
Exactly. And
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 not
that's when it's
have a
like,
favorite. Can you actually do that? If
or
you
at least not
cannot,
portray that you have a favorite. Yeah.
yeah. If you cannot do that, then you are not following Islam's polygamy, which is very clearly said if you can't do those things, then take one.
Exactly. It girl, listen. Listen, like this argument is so frustrating to me because of that reason. It's like, oh, it's my right to do this. It's my right to do that. But are you aware of the women's rights that you're taking on?
And
It
honestly,
doesn't seem that way.
polygamy, okay, so bringing it back to the topic, which is cheating,
Hmm.
polygamy and cheating are not one and the same.
They're not. They're
You
not.
can't say, I want to be polygamous, so I'm not cheating. Because this is another thing too. I actually, in that same relationship that I was cheated on, I had that same person try to convince me that their cheating, well, they didn't consider it cheating, but what was considered cheating was actually them pursuing it polygamy. Like they were courting another woman to be a wife. Whereas, okay, as soon as that other woman, said woman, she did not want to be polygamous, now you're cheating. Because she's already
Exactly.
told you, I don't want to be in a polygamous relationship. You are still pursuing her. Now that turned to cheating.
Exactly. I
She's
mean,
already told you what she's not going to do. So now the fact that you still entertaining her
mhm.
because you want to, this is no longer oh, she's, so yeah, that's
And that's why I brought up polygamy, because I feel like so often people try to like attach the two to each other. Of, like I said, whether it's from the angle of, oh, cheating happens because a man's nature is to be polygamous, and because we're suppressing his nature, he has no choice but to cheat. Like that type of mentality. And to me, it's like I said, I personally feel like if there's something, if you cannot be loyal to one woman, if you are not, if you are with me and you still feel the need to go with another woman, I'm not your person. That's
yeah.
how I personally feel. There's something that you're missing. There's something that's not fulfilling to you. There's something, whatever the case may be. And again, like it's like people always reference the prophet, peace be upon him, and the fact that he had multiple wives, but it's like, can we pay attention to the fact that he never married another woman when he was with his first wife? Why? Because he was fulfilled, he was complete,
Hmm.
that one person was able to bring him that fulfillment
Hmm.
to where he didn't need to take multiple other wives.
Yeah, even if
And
there were women who needed it, he was like, I'm good.
eh, exactly. And so that's where me as a person, this is kind of bringing me into my next question of, do you think it's selfish not to want to share your partner? Because me personally, I feel like I don't know if this is my ego or what, but
Mhm.
I don't want to be with somebody who doesn't feel like I'm 100% their person. I, like you said, I need you to come to me for
Yeah.
everything. And if you don't do that, my ego, I just can't. Mm-mm, I can't do it.
You know what's funny is that same person tried to basically, let's call it what it is, brainwash me into thinking that he was good enough to share, you know. Oh,
Mhm.
he's such a good man. Every woman should have a man like this. And I would be selfish to not
Yeah,
share, you know, right? That's what he tried to persuade. But now in the current in my relationship, my marriage, I'm not sharing my man. I will fight you, girl. Like, don't even look at him too hard. Like, what is wrong
exactly.
with you?
I will literally assault you. Like,
Like, like no. I do I believe everyone should have a love like this, like with their person? Yes,
yeah,
because I think everyone should feel loved and accepted for who they are, but not with mine. Not with
girl.
mine. Find that
Like,
in
do
your
you hear me?
person.
Do you hear me? And I think that's the part that men don't realize is like they think that jealousy, healthy jealousy. I forgot the word for it in Islam,
Mm,
where it's like the jealousy the man is supposed to have, or like the woman
mm,
is supposed to have.
mhm. I don't
Um,
know what that's called, but
protective jealousy, something like that. They
okay.
think it's only
Yeah,
a
yeah, there is a
male
word for
thing.
that. There is a word
Yeah,
for that, but I can't remember what it is.
yeah. So they think that that's only a male thing, and it's like no. As a woman, because I love you, because I value you, I cherish you. Therefore, I don't want to have multiple people using you. It's like this. It's like a rental car versus your car, right?
Yeah,
It's like it's like a payphone versus your personal cell phone. Like I don't care about a fucking payphone on the side of the street. Like,
yeah,
but my phone, my personal device, no. Like you can't have the passcode to my phone. Like you no, no.
yeah,
I might put it on speakerphone. You need to make a call. I might hold it in my hand and put it on speakerphone for you because I don't trust you. Like,
yeah,
and if so, that's how I feel about my man. You know, if
yeah.
I care about you, if I value you, it's the milk sauce on the side of her face for me. Girl, look. Hold on. But yeah, if I if I care about you, if I value you, I have no interest in sharing you. If I'm willing to share you, it's probably because I don't care about you. And
Facts.
and that's just how I feel. And but the reason why I brought that up is because I've also experienced what you were saying of where men, because let's be
Mhm.
honest, it's usually men that uses this angle that not wanting to put up with cheating or not wanting to put up with sharing is a selfish act.
Yeah.
In that kind of like you said, like you should want to share this amazing thing with the rest of the world. And
Mm.
to me, that's so much ego. Like that's such an ego
Yeah.
trip to be like, I'm so amazing. Like you should want to share something as amazing as me
Yeah.
with I'm
Yeah.
God's gift to women,
Girl,
you know? Like
God's gift to women. Okay. Well,
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
Not for me, then,
Not
you
for
know?
you.
Not for me. Let's not be
Hell
for
no. Hell no. So yeah, that's honestly that's my spiel on cheating. Is I feel like let me say this. I feel like my mentality towards it has certainly changed. Oh, this is the one last thing I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Cause listen, I'm a little petty. Do you think that getting your lick back
Oh gosh.
outside of
Okay.
Islam, put Islam aside
I
because
put
we know it's not allowed.
Islam aside. Islam
Yeah.
aside. No, I don't think getting because all you doing is because okay, we didn't talk about this, but I do think that men and women cheat differently.
Mhm.
I could be, and I'll come. I'm saying this to come back to your question or your thing, but I think when women cheat, it's way more emotionally invested than a
Uh-huh.
man cheating. Like me, and like remember how we said earlier, if a man has multiple girls, it's like which one is worse, him having one or multiple.
Mhm.
When women cheat, it's usually not this guy, that guy, this guy, that guy. It's usually
This is your replacement.
one guy. Yeah, this your replacement in the
Yeah.
making. You just don't know it yet, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
But it's I say that to say, getting back for a woman to feel the need to have a get back, she's not just meeting some guy at a bar saying let's go home. And she might just to be petty, but if that guy had an ounce of goodness in him, that might be her continuous get back.
Yeah.
It's usually not a one-off thing. It may have started as, oh, I'm just gonna go out and I'm just gonna find some guy. But if she ended up liking him, oh, that wasn't just a get back. That's
Yeah,
now a thing.
yeah, that's the thing now. That's like I said, that's your replacement.
So
That's your replacement.
I don't feel like get back. If you are at the point in your relationship where you gotta get some get back, you might just want to get back out that relationship
Yeah,
because you
just let it
got to
go.
start something. You know, if
Just let it
you
go.
are just yeah, if you are hurt and you want to work through it, okay, then I guess figure it out if you can work through it. But if you got to get some get back, just just go ahead
Y-
and find somebody else
Exactly, and that's the mature thing to say
because men
because
don't do get back well.
yeah,
'Cause now they got to get back your get back, and now y'all
exactly.
you know
And
each
I had this
other.
conversation. I had this conversation fairly recently, and it was like I'm like, how you can't get back for my get back? That's not how that works.
Yeah,
You're just cheating again, you cheater. But
yeah.
like, so that is messy. That's a whole nother can of worms. It's like now you're gonna deal with the fact of say someone cheats on you and then you go get your get back. Are they gonna accept that and be like, all right, we're even?
No,
No,
they're
they're
not.
not. More 9 times out of 10, they're not gonna be like, okay, this the score is even. Like,
No.
no, it's gonna create a vicious cycle. And
Yeah.
this is why me personally, on the question of is cheating a deal breaker or not, I'm undecided. I go back and forth because on one hand I'm like, fuck that.
Mhm.
That's it. If I ever get cheated on again, I'm done. I'm gonna walk away. I'm mature. But then on the other hand, I'm like, I don't know. If I get cheated on again, I might just fucking I might
Stick
just
it
find your
through.
replacement. No, I'm just
I
playing. I'm just playing.
mean,
I'm just playing.
I think it is for me because especially like where I'm at now in life, it's
Mhm.
like, okay, if we're on a conversation is cheating a deal breaker, you know what I've been through,
Mhm.
probably. So for you to put me through it again, oh, your
Yeah.
ass gotta go. Your ass gotta go
Yeah.
because you knew what has hurt me. Probably said you would never do that to me. And to do exactly what I said hurt me the most. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm cool.
Like
I'm
you're not
cool.
my person. And I would rather be alone or,
Mhm.
casually dating, I guess you could say, than be with a person who has hurt me like no one else has because I did let you in. I did tell you my fears, my secrets, my experiences, my past.
Mhm.
And for you to cheat on me,
Right. And
that
that's
was
where I would say, you know what, y'all, to the viewers out there,
yeah.
cheating should probably just be a deal breaker, bro. It just
I
should be a
think it
deal breaker.
should be.
Just let it go. Even if it's not the immediate act itself, like just when you take a step back and look at the bigger picture in the context, it's probably best to just let that shit go because the
Mhm.
relationship is yeah.
It's lacking somewhere
Yeah.
even if you can't see it, and it's not
Mhm.
saying the person is lacking, it's just the relationship, whether it be chemistry,
Mhm.
wants and needs fulfilled, like, I would just let it go because
Just let it go.
the longer it goes too, the confidence just
Yeah.
dives down, and then it just gets really bad. So I would say let it go.
Alrighty. So this girl is getting she's like, I'm over this. Like
Yeah.
shut this shit down. Is there anything
Da-da-da.
else you want to add or do you
Uh
think we're ready now?
No, but I mean, I really did enjoy the show and definitely, reach out so we can do some more episodes of,
Mhm.
little things. Cause yeah, I don't know, talking about it, it, it puts it in perspective of, what would you do now? And I think I've grown since the last time I've had to think about cheating. So
Mhm.
it's interesting to kind of hear myself go, oh no, it's a deal breaker when I know good and well some years ago, I was like, "I'll stay, Imma fix it." So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's really interesting, but yeah, I would just say, thank you for having me, and, make sure y'all follow, subscribe. What's the channel's name? What's your channel's name?
Angels whisper.
Angels
I got that
Whisper.
from AI, y'all. Like,
LOL.
I went to the AI chat and was like, "What should I name a podcast if my name is Angel?" And it was
I
like
like
Angels
that.
Whisper. I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. So make sure y'all subscribe to Angels Whisper, and I'm gonna have to go check out your other episodes. What are they talking about?
So the first one is, oh, is there an agenda to like turn women and men against each other?
Oh,
And
yeah.
then the second one was body count. is
Ooh,
is body
body
count
count.
does body count matter? Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, I would just say subscribe to Angels Whisper. Y'all hear the juicy topics. Leave some comments. Is cheating a deal breaker? And yeah, check me out on YouTube. I'm not frequent, but I do try to upload when I can. So yeah, but thanks for
Yeah,
having me. And
definitely go check her out, y'all.
yeah, bye,
Thank you for
y'all.
coming through. Peace. Oh, let me. And this is the part where I get to exit the screen and boop, boop, boop.